Hi there, Loy Machedo, speaking from loymachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo Think Personal Branding? I just thought today, have a video being here. My wife is sitting there in a coffee shop. So I just thought maybe today I'll do a video being here. And one of the questions that I received from one of my viewers was the question like, why did you become an atheist? Because for those of you who do not know, I was born and raised in a Catholic family. I was a preacher. I used to literally go door to door, house to house with groups preaching about the Bible, even though I was in Dubai. I used to go to church every day at 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. And I did this for 2 or 3 years. So why is it after doing all this, why did I give up, the Catholic faith? So I just thought I'd share with you my 10 reasons. Um, I would say the preliminary doubt of my faith started to come in when I started to ask people questions. If you start asking people questions, especially irrespective whichever religion you are, if you start asking people questions which are hard to answer, people eventually get pissed off. And what I realized is the majority of people who are following the religion, they would give you a version that is different from another person. Let's say, for example, you ask 10 people one particular question: what's the meaning of a particular verse? You can be a Hindu, you can be a Muslim, you can be Christian. Ask 10 different people the meaning of one particular verse, you'll get 10 different answers. So I have to ask myself, why is it that 10 people have 10 different answers? Then who knows religion? And here's the thing, the majority of people do not study their own religion. Majority of people have a different version to their religion. And when you have different versions of the different text and different meanings, so who's actually following the right version? So early on I realized that everyone has a different version, so which version do I follow? And that is where you need to ask tough questions. And the questions as a small boy that I was asking people is, okay, the first person that God created was Adam and Eve. So Adam and Eve were having sex with each other. So they had two boys. Then who did the boys have sex with? So was it like brother and sister were having sex with one another to procreate? So that was, nobody had answers to that. The second question I asked is, so Adam and Eve were in a garden with an apple. So was it a magic apple or was it a normal apple? And then you have a talking snake. So did the snake talk? Or was the snake giving like mind waves, telepathy? And then here's a bigger question: who was there to witness Adam and Eve and the talking snake? Who was there busy looking at them and writing down, taking notes as it was happening? Or did they rally the story word of mouth? In fact, who was there to witness when God was making Adam and God was making Eve? Who was there to view this? Who can vouch for a talking snake? Where did the talking snake go? Why did snakes stop talking? And in the Bible it's written, God cursed the snake and said that now you'll wriggle on your belly. So was a snake having arms and legs before? And then the other question was like, okay, you had Cain and Abel. So who did Cain and Abel, who were Cain and Abel married to? Who are their girlfriends? Did they have sex with their own sisters or their daughters? And then the other question was Noah's Ark. How in the world did one man manage to bring in all the animals, have 5 or 6 people take care of like 10,000 animals? How do you do that? How do you feed 10,000 animals? How do you clean the shit of 10,000 animals? How do you fit 10,000 animals in a boat? How do you engineer a boat and move it in a way is as, like, let's talk common sense. So when I'd ask these questions with answers, nobody was there to give me proper answers. They said, no, God knows. Then what the hell, So nobody was there to ask. And I urge you to ask these questions, because when they say God walked with the man or God, created a planet, who was there to witness all this? So nobody had answers. The second reason why I became an atheist was, my logic was, if I was, now I'm born in a Christian family, so my parents say Christianity is a real religion. So if I was born in a Muslim family, they would say Islam is a true religion. If I was born in a Hindu family, then Hinduism would be the true religion. So does that mean the true religion is based on the family that you're born into? So if tomorrow I was born into a Muslim family, obviously they would say Islam is the true religion. If I was born in a Hindu family, they say Hinduism is the true religion. So doesn't that make sense? So how do you know which one is the true religion? And then when you get people converting, so does it mean because they converted, they went into the true religion? Because see, think about this. Meet any guy who's born in an Islamic family, who's born as a Muslim, and ask him, is your religion true? He would say, yes, our religion is true. And ask a Catholic family that is, or Christian family that is conservative, and ask them, is your religion true? They would say, yes, our religion is true. So which one is right? So is A right, B right, C right? So that's another. The third one, which I asked, is there's a constant clash between science and religion. For example, why is it in the Bible, in the Quran, in the Hindu Vedas, whatever, there's no mention of any dinosaurs? We have dinosaur fossils to prove that dinosaurs did exist. How come that's not mentioned in the Bible? How come that's not mentioned in the Quran? How come that's not mentioned in any of the holy books? So, and how come evolution is not mentioned in any of the holy books? So when I'd ask people this question, they would never answer it. So that's another big red flag. Point number 4 is, this one is pretty tricky. Now they say God hears your prayers. If you are a good Christian or good whatever, God hears your prayers. So when I used to pray, I wasn't getting what I wanted. And then I would say, I'm good, but God doesn't hear my prayers. So then they would say, God is testing you. So, okay, so how long does the test last? Nobody was able to answer that. Why is he testing me? Nobody would answer that. And so it's like, if I don't get it, God is testing me, or God will give me at the right time. But if I pray and get it, that means God hears my prayers. So it's like both the ways it's right. So it could also be, maybe if I pray to a Hindu God, and if, let's say, for example, I decide to pray to a Hindu God and I get the job of my dreams. So then can I credit it to the Hindu God? And next time if I pray, if I don't get it, so is it like that God is not listening? And here's a bigger question. If God hears your prayers and gives you when you need them, what about the children who are dying in Africa? What about the people who are dying in famine? What about the people who are dying in earthquakes, tsunamis, war zones? They are good people. They are praying to God. Why is God not listening to them? So then people would say, yeah, but he has a special plan for them when they go to heaven. So it's like in every way, whether good, bad, or ugly, whether in both the ways, they win the argument. So it's like, if you pray and you don't get it, God is testing you. And if you pray and get it, God hears your prayers. So you see how stupid and senseless that argument is? Then when I would ask them, then why are bad people enjoying life, and is God listening to their prayers? No, they are enjoying now, but they'll suffer later. But then the bigger question is, who, you're talking of heaven and hell. Who has seen heaven and hell? Has anyone seen heaven and hell? Has anyone been to heaven and hell? You would say, yes, there is this one person who saw heaven and hell. Then why is there no scientific evidence? It's like me saying, I saw unicorns, I saw the UFO. People would ask me, where is the evidence? So that's another question. Where is the evidence? So that is where I noticed there was a clash between science and religion. Point number 5 is, this is thought mainly in Christian and Muslim Islam doctrines, and that is, your duty is to pray and worship God. Okay, and apparently when you die, you go to heaven, and there you'll be honored to pray to God. So I begin to ask myself, so is that the purpose of my life, just to pray and worship Him? It's like me having children, and the purpose of me having children is for them to worship me on my feet, worship me and say, Lord, you're great. It's like me having a boy or a daughter, a boy or a girl, and saying, I created you so that you worship me, you fall at my feet, you say how great I am. If I would tell anyone that, they would say, Lord, you're the most narcissistic, abnormal, stupid individual on this planet. So then imagine if God creates everyone just to fall down and worship and pray to Him. Isn't that bloody retarded? I find that really sick if someone says, I made children so that they worship me. And I find that's really stupid. And here's another thing. So your purpose in life is to pray and worship the one God. But then if you're born in the wrong religion and you pray to another God, that's in violation of your rule. So you should only worship that God. So it's like me saying, after I created you, you only admire me. You admire anyone else, you're going to suffer and die for the rest of your life. So you see how it sounds like a bully? So that didn't make sense. And then I also had, moments in my family life where when I was a small child, my parents used to make me kneel down, raise my hands, pray to God every day. And we're repeating the same shit. It's like, we just say the prayers, repeating again and again. God, you're so great. God, you're so merciful. God, thank you, God. You begin to think like, what the hell is this, And there's no response. It's like, I'm praying to someone, but where's the response? Then point number 6. Now, this one you really need to think about is, apparently, God He loves you unconditionally. That means there's no limit to His love. It's never ending. But then the question is, if you don't worship Him, if you don't follow His rules, if you're not part of His team, like you're not a Christian, or if you're in Islam, you're not part of the, Muslim tribe, you'll go to hell. Okay? If you're gay, you'll go to hell. So then you begin to think like, okay, so you love me unconditionally. Okay? Hear me out. You love me unconditionally, but if I don't follow your rules, if I don't love you, you will make sure that I suffer and die and I'm miserable for eternity. What kind of love is that? It's like me telling you, you better love me, you better worship me, you better fall down at your feet, and then I'll give you a great life. And that is unconditional love. But if you love somebody else, I'll destroy you forever. I'll destroy you. You'll suffer and die with gnashing of teeth and fire, hell, pain will be uncontrollable. What retardation is this? Yeah? I mean, that's a loving God? For me, that's a bully. That's a masochistic maniac, Then point number 7 is, God created us in His own likeness and image. So what about homosexuals? So that's not creating in your likeness and image. What about people who are, abnormal? So God created them in His likeness and image. And then here's another thing. Point number 8 is, until now, I've not found a single shred of evidence. Not found a shred of evidence for unicorns. I've not found a shred for UFOs. I've not found a shred for God. If there is any evidence, please, I'm open-minded. Show me the evidence. Show me there is God. Show me. Like if, for example, I say I met a guy, you'd say, okay, fine. Where is he? Show me a video. Let us talk to him. You'll not believe that a person exists unless you talk to him face to face. Like even if I were to lend you money, let's say you were to lend me money, you'd say, Loy, I'm lending you money, but I need a written contract so that there is proof. Now you're talking of gods. Then I can say that there is Zeus. I can say there is Amun-Ra. I can say there is Lakshmi. I can say there's Ganesh. Why should I believe that there's a Jesus and there's no Ganesh? Why should I believe there's an Allah and no Shiva? You say Allah created the mountains because it says in the Quran. Then I would say Shiva created the mountains because it says in the Bhagavad Gita. So which one is true? Then point number 9 is, there are 3,000 different gods. There are hundreds of translations. And you need to understand that this book was written, whichever holy book was written, word of mouth. There was no printing press. There was no internet. It was written word of mouth, from mouth to mouth. So come on. And none of the holy books have anything specific. All of them are in verses. All of them are in parables. All of them are in, ye shall see the sky and feel the wrath. So you can have 10,000 different meanings for this parable. And, here's the stupid thing. You get these religious guys who say, brother, experience the true faith, read the Quran. Experience the true faith, read the Holy Bible. Open your heart and read. I've read them. They're just parables. And here's another big thing. Why is the Quran written in Arabic? Why is it not written in different? Why is the entire religion only in the Middle East? Why is it not in China? Why is it not in Australia? Why is it not in America? Why is it only in the Middle East? Why did Moses walk the whole this thing for 40 years for a distance which can be finished off within maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Check with your GPS the distance that he was going from Egypt to the Promised Land. It would take you less than a month. It took him 40 years. I mean, what was he doing for 40 years? And then you get God who comes down and kills and this and that. It doesn't make any sense. Think, use your head. And then the last big reason that I'll give you is, fine, you want to believe that your religion is true? Fine. I have no qualms. Test it. In the Bible, it was written, if you curse God, God will destroy your life. If you pray, God will hear your prayers. When you need Him, He'll be there for you. I tested these hypotheses. I cursed God, nothing happened. I abused the Holy Spirit, nothing happened. I prayed to Him, He never heard my prayers. I needed Him, He was never there for me. So what sense does it make when you test a theory? It's like, for example, me saying, you take Panadol, paracetamol, and this will make you sleepy. I take it 10 times, and all the 10 times, it makes me fall asleep. So then that theory is true. It's real. It's a fact. So then the question is, I give you another tablet, and I say, it works, but sometimes. I take it one time, it works. Second time, it doesn't work. Third time, it doesn't work. So then you would not believe or agree with me that this tablet makes you fall sleepy. So in the same way, when you pray to God, He doesn't listen to you sometimes, He listens to you sometimes. Sometimes you curse Him, He'll punish you. Sometimes He doesn't punish you. Sometimes He's a loving God. Sometimes He'll destroy you and put you in hell. I mean, what is true, man? So, and the biggest thing of all was I started to read. I literally spent 4 years reading every page, every paragraph, every sentence of the Bible. I listened to the guys who preached about the Quran. I listened to guys who were preaching about Hinduism. And after that, I was like, okay, let me study how religion came. Here's the thing. How come if you go through the history of religion, 3,000 years, study the history of religion, you have to figure out the first religion that was there, the first one. It was so basic. They believed light was good, darkness was bad. It is darkness because snakes and rats and scorpions, so they said, oh, it's evil. When light came, birds were chirping and crops were growing, so light was good. So that is why all the gods who show light, it's good, it's the truth. Black or darkness is evil, it's bad, it's sinister, it's cold. That's why you get these horror movies. So it comes down from this. And the first god was I can't get his name. The first god was Horus. The first god was Horus. Okay, so from there branched out all other religions. So come on, if you use your mind, you'd realize, and if you study, if you read other books, spend time reading books on science, read books on psychology, read books on how the mind works, you'll clearly realize that religion is man-made. All religions are man-made. So that is why I decided, after testing this, that raising a wafer becomes the body, the flesh of Jesus Christ. Talking to a priest and telling him your sins, he prays to God and he heals your prayers. That's all bullshit, man. So that is why I became an atheist, and this has been my journey. And ever since I became an atheist, I take total responsibility for my life, for my decisions. I don't pray to any gods or anything. I respect all religions in the sense, you mind your business, I mind mine. You want to believe in a rat, you want to believe in Allah, you want to believe in Jesus, you want to believe in Buddha, you want to believe in a monk, you want to believe in a magic stone, rat, snake, horse, donkey, coffee, whatever. Believe in it. I don't have problems. For me, all religions are the same. I treat all of them equally. You mind your own business, I mind my own. As long as your religion does good, that's great. So that has been my journey, and I've been there ever since. So I hope this answers your question, why did I become an atheist? And I'll tell you, ever since I gave up religion, 2011, if you check my video when I tried to commit suicide, I gave up religion. I've taken complete responsibility of my life, and I've been absolutely happy. I would say I'm the happiest. So it has been, I think, nearly 10 years, 11 years, and nothing bad has happened to me ever since. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. If you have any questions, comments, put them in the comment section below. Well, this has been my journey. Let me know what you think. Live from Machedo.com, who's live Machedo and Think Personal Branding, saying goodbye for now. Take care.